Waycross Community Television Sports presents the 1994 Ohio High School Athletic Association Tournament Football Championship game between the St. Xavier Bombers and the Colerain Cardinals. Coming to you from Nippert Stadium here in Cincinnati, Ohio, where the top two teams, the number 1 ranked Colerain Cardinals and the number 2 St. Xavier Bombers, square off. I'm Dave Eby, and along with Dan Gibbons, we'll be bringing you all the exciting information tonight. Dan, the Colerain Cardinals rated number 1, nationally ranked and state ranked in the top 5 teams also. A powerhouse tonight for the St. Xavier Bombers.
Dave, I think they deserve their rating. These guys are bona fide. I was down on the field right before, a few minutes ago, talking to Coach Steve Schweitzer, an old buddy from Muller, and Steve said these kids are for real, Dave. They're motivated, they have a community together, they have fine athletes, and the coaches have got them doing they're just well disciplined. They follow out every assignment. They really are just a talented, disciplined ball club, and I think that's the key to the game tonight, Dave, because both of these offenses run triple veers, they run options, there are a lot of reads, and so discipline is key to the whole game tonight for both teams. If the quarterbacks, Murphy for Colerain, makes the right reads, that running game, which has been potent all year, is going to move the ball against St. X 4, 5, 6, 7 yards at a time. Colerain, as you know, runs the ball, Dave. They pass only to hurt you, and they've got 10 touchdown passes, which is kind of a statistic that kind of surprises you, but they throw to hurt you. So I'll tell you what, the discipline is really disciplined also. They got good size, they got good quickness. I think one of the keys on defense is number 71 for Colerain. We'll keep a little bit more on him later. How about the Bombers, Dave? What's happening out there in Bomberland this week?
North Bend High School has been really a buzz this week as Andy Kettler has had to take over a quarterback for the injured Joe Sprengard. If the Bombers are going to win tonight, they're going to go back to the age-old adage that defense wins championships, and the defense is going to have to step up even bigger than they have previously. The defense is the number 1 ranked.
Now introducing the defensive unit for the Colerain Cardinals.
Lots of the fans on the sidelines, Dan, as the St. Xavier Bombers come down the field. The other keys for the Bombers is it's not just going to be one person who's going to be able to operate this upset victory tonight for the Bombers. So the defense is going to have to play well. Andy Kettler is going to have to play within himself. He's a very gifted athlete. He can throw the football. He's a little quicker than Joe Sprengard, which may surprise the Colerain Cardinals. Position, Dan. The St. Xavier Bombers not known for their kicking game, so they're going to have to hope their defense can turn the ball over very, very deep inside Colerain territory, or that they not get pinned deep in their own territory because their kicking game's a little weak.
Now the defensive unit for Colerain Cardinals. That's defensive end number 49, David Thomas.
For Colerain.
I sure do. Well, we might not be matching up exactly on the field there, but you can read them for yourself. The key starters are Dave Murphy, number 5, Dave, the quarterback, this is the offensive starters. And Murphy is about a 6'1", 170, good reflexes, excellent intelligence, good passer, okay, and a good runner. The key to Colerain's offensive success really rides on Murphy. He gets the ball, he moves outside, and he reads the defensive tackle right away. If the tackle, see what the success to the Colerain offense is, they don't block everybody. That way they can double up on the people at the point of attack. So if they got a block on the tackle, he dives the ball, okay? Quite often with Mike Nettles, okay? And Nettles, number 21, he can take the ball all the way. He can take the ball tough, 3, 4, 5 yards at a time. I was impressed in the films watching both Nettles and Alexander and Murphy and this wingback, Martini, number 41. They really run hard, Dave. That's something else that St. X hasn't faced in recent weeks. It's hard running backs. Watch their legs. They keep churning. They keep moving. So back to Murphy. That read, Murphy's first read, is key. So if he reads the tackle and the tackle is blocked out of there, or if they go outside a little further, okay, then he'll read whoever's the first opposite color jersey going outside. That might be Xavier's defensive end. It might be the linebacker. Okay, so then he either decides to keep or pitch. Now, this is another key to the ball game for both quarterbacks. Don't force the pitch. Don't commit the turnover, because if they commit the turnovers, that's field position. That's the ball game, Dave. And I think that you're absolutely on. I watched the film to the last St. X Colerain game, and X's turnovers hurt them badly. And actually, I think led to two. Colerain deserves it. They scored, but they led to 2 touchdowns for Colerain. Otherwise, that's a 7-7 ball game. And I rate this one, Dave, as a toss-up. I don't rate the X as an underdog in this ball game. I rate these teams about even though Colerain did beat them last time.
To stop that potent attack and see what Andy Kettler can do. Perhaps it's, Dan, going to come down to a little bit of coaching on both sidelines. Steve Rasso, very successful at St. Xavier. Kerry Combs bringing a 28-13 mark in his tenure here at Colerain High School. If the Bombers do decide to exploit a weakness for the Cardinals, it's probably pass defense, but with a young sophomore quarterback, I don't know if the Bombers are going to decide to throw the ball or not. So if the Bombers do decide to throw the ball, I think they've got a great chance to make an exploitation.
Here's
Cardinals are going to be looking for that
Pardon
run.
me butting in here a second, Dave, but Colerain kind of plays a swinging gate. Watch, they'll try to pin the ball to the sideline here. Kick it on the ground, pin it to the sideline.
86 for the Colerain Cardinals. Riley brings it out to the 35-yard line before Jake Oden rides him down. First and
Okay, now let's watch Kettler on this first play. If I'm Colerain, I'm going to kind of wake him up a little bit. Maybe, you know, when the option quarterback gets hit on every play, Dave, and you make those hits pay off. So in the fourth quarter,
we'll mention that point about the St. Xavier quarterback, because for the last 7 years, the Bombers have lost their starting quarterback at one point in the season. Straight set with Riley spread out wide to the left. Handoff inside here to Barrett Doxey, number 41, who bowls ahead for 5 yards on the play. Doxey tripped up by number 22, Richard Bryant, and Mike Freeman, number 45, coming in to make the stop.
Freeman looked quick on that play. I had the glasses on him, Dave. He's 6 foot 210, and he does an effective job of plugging up that middle. Nice start for the Bombers, though. 5 yards on the carry.
Dan Brett Heavenstreet is also the other player we'll be looking at for the Colerain Cardinals. He's an all Southwest Ohio defensive back. Hayes in the backfield along with Doxey. Handoff again to Doxey, who comes around the ends, got the first down. Barrett Doxey is knocked down at about the 47-yard line. There's a penalty flag on the play, and they may get James Cox for an illegal block here on the 49. They're going to get him for a hold. The Bombers clearly had the first down, and I believe this is going to go against them, Dan.
Absolutely. From the line of scrimmage, that's a big penalty, Dave, because that's a 15, 18-yard penalty, including the gain there. So an unfortunate hold, but it was called right away, and officials are right down there on that play. I noticed that the Cardinals, we said one of the key people is going to be this Dan Visconti, 6'5", 255, number 71. I think this guy's a Division I player, Dave. He can really play some tackle down there.
Well, Dan, we're looking at second down and about 5 yards to go for the first down, as 10 yards were marked off from the spot of the foul on the 50-yard line. Andy Kettler with Doxey in single formation. Riley goes into motion behind him. Nice handoff inside. Doxey fumbles, and that's just what you don't need as number 26 comes up with it. Nobody hit Jamie Doxey, but the handoff didn't seem to be there, and Brian Burr, number 26, comes up with the ball on the 37-yard line. The Colerain Cardinals with a big opportunity here. Both coaches said it before the game. Field position and turnovers could be tragic.
It looks like a carbon copy of the tape we looked at yesterday, Dave. Fumble on about the 35-yard line. Let's see if the Colerain Cardinals can convert again.
The powerful Cardinal offense. Handoff here coming out to Alexander. He moves ahead and he's taken down by number 47, Mike Wenstrup. Wenstrup on the stop for the Bombers.
Now, on this play, okay, this is a play that looks like it stopped at the middle, but Alexander, okay, Ronnie Alexander, this kid reads the play, slides to the outside, gets 5, 6, 7 yards, Dave.
Alexander with a 5-yard pickup, second down, about 5 yards to go. The ball just inside the 35-yard line. Murphy calling out the signals. He's got one man spread out wide. Alexander going in motion, faked Alexander. He's got a man open down the middle. Murphy with plenty of time. Murphy gonna roll. Murphy now cutting upfield. Murphy, a smart move as Bob Malinowski, the nose tackle. Dan had to get outside to finally drag him down, but David Murphy with a good read there. And this could be a big injury as he's down on the field. And if he doesn't get up, Dan, the Colerain Cardinals may be facing the same thing that St. Xavier faced, an injury to the quarterback.
Dave,
Number 5, junior Dave Murphy is on the ground, and this is bad news for Colerain unless he just had the wind knocked out of him. Remember last week that Joe Sprengard, Dan, got hit. He really didn't feel the crack right away, but after he got hit, it looked like he came back in for a few more plays. So the Cardinals will be warming up their backup quarterback on the sidelines, and it looks like, Dan, they're just working down on the lower leg a little bit, so perhaps okay.
Looks like that left knee, perhaps. Young man's in pain down there. I'll tell you, Murphy's a tough one. Dave, it looks like he kind of, there's a situation here when you're not used to playing on AstroTurf, when your foot kind of grips with the soles, the type of soles that the cleats they wear on this AstroTurf. It's relatively new AstroTurf, and it looked like his foot just kind of gripped and it got kind of twisted down.
On the sidelines, number 11, Dan, Ray Bonar is warming up for the Cardinals. So number 11, Ray Bonar, is taking some snaps. He'll have to go in for at least one play. Murphy's got his arms up, Dan. He's walking over. He's limping a little bit on that knee, and we're going to have to wait to get a sideline report to see what's wrong with David Murphy, but this could be a big loss for the Colerain Cardinals.
Interestingly, Dave, X on that play has a very good defensive backfield, and they took the tight end away. I think it was a look to the tight end on that surprise pass play, and he was well covered. So Murphy didn't have anywhere to go, but he had plenty of time to find somebody else. But he only had one man out on the pattern, and X had him well covered. So good defense.
Third down and a big 3 to go for the Colerain Cardinals as they come in a straight eye. Big set here for the St. Xavier Bombers. The Colerain faithful up on their feet and cheering as both fans have come out in big numbers. Alexander finds a hole, and Alexander bowls his way forward. We've got a penalty flag on the play, Dan. It looked like the right tackle may have jumped a little bit, and we're going to wait to see the officials' call here as the ball is placed down on about the 27.5-yard line. But yes, it is a penalty against the Colerain Cardinals. You see there they're looking at David Murphy's knee, and Murphy lying there on the table as the penalty is going to be marked off 5 yards. This will make it 3rd and about 8. A regular passing situation, Dan, but the Cardinals, they like to keep that ball on the ground.
Let's look for what they like to do, Dave, is they'd like to reverse to the wingback in this situation. Okay, 41. They also like to, which is Martini. We talked about him early, Joe Martini. They also like to hit the tight end. So let's see if their traditions hold true here.
Bonar calling out the signals with a straight eye backfield, 2 men split out. Bonar with the handoff inside the Nettles. Nettles eludes one tackler, but then the speed of the St. Xavier defense, number 35, Chris Hoffman, coming up to make the big hit for the Bombers. Dan, you just can't beat speed.
No, you also can't beat usually Jefferson Kelly, 6'6", 306. Let's see what we can see on this. This Kelly kid is 300 pounds here coming at us. He doesn't. He is held up right on the line there. Oh, man, I'll tell you what.
A great read by Hoffman. So the Colerain Cardinals decide to punt with 4th and 8. They're going for field position. And this is a nice punt by number 6, who drops it right into Nick Riley, who comes up and makes an excellent fair catch on the 18-yard line, keeps that ball from bounding back farther. So a big mistake by the Bomber offense, but the Bomber defense comes up big. And now the Colerain Cardinals will send their defense out. Dan, one thing, both of these teams, when you look at the city statistics, you see why they're number 1 and number 2. This Colerain defense doesn't give up very much either.
They sure don't, Dave. They gave X everything they could handle last time they played. Held them to 7 points and made them look bad, actually. And we'll talk more about this defense as the plays go on here.
The Bombers were moving on the ground last time as the handoff goes inside to number 20, Dan Hayes. He finds very tough going as he's knocked to the ground by number 44, Mike Freeman. So Brett Haven Street with the tackle there. Dan, he's all Southwest Ohio, if I'm not mistaken. A senior co-captain leader here for the Colerain Cardinals, second and about 8.
I think the Colerain defense, Dave, is a little quicker than the St. X offense, and they got to keep X has got to keep the plays simple and go right at them, beat them at the line of scrimmage.
Kettler calling out the signals. Kettler pulls the ball in. Kettler met right at the line of scrimmage by number 39 as he steps up and really gets him big. Nick Kostoff. Kostoff with a fumble recovery and an interception in the first game shows that he's come to play as he holds Kettler to a 1-yard gain, 3rd down and about 7. And I think the Bombers, Dan, as I discussed at the beginning of the game, if they're going to beat this defense, they need to throw the football into the flat. I'm not sure the coaching staff wants to do that with Kettler. They want to try to relieve as much pressure as possible from Andy, but he's got a great arm, and I think that the one way that the Wayne Warriors move the ball against Colerain was through the air. This is a passing down. Let's see if we see a blitz on the move. Handoff inside. Kettler keeps, and Kettler's hit behind the line, and right now the Colerain defense has stuffed all runs. St. Xavier's had 5 plays, 5 runs. They're going the conservative route, Dan. It may come back to haunt them later on.
Well, they have to do what they can do. And you got Kettler with the fumble early on. His confidence is kind of hurt. He goes with a dive play, it gets stuffed. He goes with a keep. He's carrying the ball with 2 arms. He gets stuffed. And then Visconti comes back again, 71, and trips him up. And really, Dave, you know, they just gotta get some confidence in Kettler. He's got to get confident in himself, or that St. X offense isn't going to go.
Calvin Banks took Tim Banker's punt on the 45-yard line, so the Colerain Cardinals are winning the field battle right now, at least field position. Actually, he took the punt on the 44, so it'll be 1st and 10 for the Cardinals. We've noticed that quarterback David Murphy is off the table, but he's not yet out onto the field. And so number 11, the man on the hot seat for the Cardinals, is Ray Bonar. Dan, we don't have too much information on Ray. We'll try to get some. He's 5'10", 170. He's a sophomore, just like Kettler. What a hit put on by Barrett Doxey and Tim Banker as they came to the outside. Number 6. Young carried, or I was faked out on the original handoff there, but it was inside with Young and Malinowski making the stop.
The difference so far, Dave, is they got 5 yards on 1st down with Nettles. X got stuffed. So right now, Colerain's winning at the line of scrimmage.
2nd down and about 6 yards to go. The Cardinals find themselves on their own 48-yard line. They've had good field position the first 2 times with the ball. Bonar had a little bit of trouble holding on to the ball. Great pitch outside. Gusick strips the ball loose. There's a pileup, and it looks like the Bombers are pointing their way. One referee signals 1st down St. X. So the St. Xavier Bombers.
Right, Dave. Gusick stripped that ball, but it was a great pitch. It was a great read. Gusick just simply came up and took a big gamble, stripped the ball away, I think from Alexander, and wow, big turnaround. Now the quarterback, he's got to come up with a little bit of confidence here, and you know, just let's see what he can do.
So Ray Bonar had an excellent play. He had a little bit of trouble holding, but Dan, he made a great pitch and a great fake, but Gusick making the defensive play there. Riley's in motion. Handoff goes to Hayes. Hayes finds nothing inside as Freeman and Heaven Street meet Dan Hayes and just drive him absolutely backwards. I'm not sure he even got back to the line of scrimmage. The Bombers trying to bang it out between the guards, and right now it looks like the Colerain Cardinal coaching staff was ready for this.
Amen, Dave. They're looking for the run all the way, and they're looking for Nettle to run the ball too, I think. The interior line did a heck of a job, but those 2 linebackers just played it really, really tough.
We should mention that Andy Kettler, Dan, was the halfback. It gave Barrett Doxey a rest, so Barrett only had to play one way on defense. But with Sprangard hurt and Kettler at quarterback, Doxey's got to come both ways. Kettler with the fake to the outside, throwing for Lamar Marshall. Marshall attempting to tip it away from number 23, and Lamar Marshall almost came up with that ball as Kevin Taylor put the good defense on. Kettler tried to get it high, just couldn't get it high enough, but Lamar almost made the great catch.
Kevin Taylor, 6', 170, had Lamar covered all the way, and actually Martin did a good job of defense.
Let's watch Andy
replay on
Kettler
this one.
air this one
Here's
out
Kettler's first pass. It looks like it's good velocity, pretty good spiral, and as you saw, Marshall got up there and defended, I think.
Just a little bit short. James Cox split out one way. Here comes the pitch to Riley. Look for Riley. Riley doesn't get a block, but may have enough speed to get around the corner, but no way. As Nick Riley is knocked down by number 44, they're going to really have to key on Heaven Street, as Brett Heaven Street has come to make matters worse for the St. Xavier offense. A pickup of about 3 yards, 3 and out again. So this Colerain Cardinal defense proving to be equal to the task. Number 11, Tim Banker, will be in punt formation. Number 9.
It's key, Dave, for St. X to pin Colerain down here. Kick the ball out of bounds, kick it out, get it out inside the 20.
Calvin Banks is deep. Banker really getting the ball off quickly. Dan, you said kick it out of bounds. It's rolling. Can they get it covered and not let it go in? Sal Jaleen, the tackle, is going to cover it on the 5-yard line. So Tim Banker uncorks a 43-yard punt for the St. Xavier Bombers, and the Colerain Cardinals cannot afford to turn the ball over. As you see, number 71, Sal Jaleen, in your picture there, all Southwest Ohio, Dan, and 8 of these St. Xavier Bombers made first-team All-GCL honors on defense. So this potent Colerain Cardinal offense has been held scoreless so far.
Dave, St. X is winning the battle of the kickers so far because they got him pinned down there. Now it's key to see if they can keep him there.
This is Ray Bonar. Bonar with the handoff inside. Nice blocking by the interior of that line. We'll have to get their numbers as Sal Jaleen got underneath for St. X, along with Josh Young and Chris Hoffman. So Young and Hoffman underneath along with Jaleen. Dan, let's set that Colerain offensive line while we got a chance here.
Okay, we got Creamer at tackle, Kelly at guard, Full at center, Little at guard, Story at tackle, and Roeder at tight end, Dave. I think I got that right.
Bonar calling out the signals, triple wide backfield, taking a lot of time here, trying to freeze the St. Xavier defense. Good fake inside. Alexander finds nothing as he came up to about the 8-yard line. A good fake inside, Dan. Some of the Bombers bit, but there was just nothing there as Tim Banker, along with, I believe, Bob Malinowski and Josh Young underneath. So Malinowski playing for the injured Chris Kost. We've called his name a few times tonight, and he's doing the job.
Yep, seems like they're testing him out. Again, another thing about Colerain's offensive strategy, Dave, is they'll run this play 6, 7, 8, 9 times in a row. But one time they'll pop that play.
Exactly.
And that's the key.
Remember in the first game, the 75-yard pop that the Cardinals had put the Bombers down 14-0. Bonar with the handoff to Alexander, and he runs right into number 48, Michael Marshall. And let's see if St. X brings everybody now in an attempt to block this punt and get a few points on the board here.
A comment on that punting from Colerain, Dave. We got a one-step kicker here. We'll get his name as soon as we find him out there. But it's number 6, Dave.
I believe that Casey Schurz does the punting.
Now watch, he's a one-step punter. They're not going to block this kid's punt, but maybe they can rush him. Watch, he's a one-step punter. Takes one step. Nice punter. Doesn't kick long, but he kicks it high.
They're backing off. Marshall came in, or Wenstrup came in. There's Gussick who whistles for the fair catch, but St. Xavier's Nick Riley falls on it as the Cardinals, Mike Gussick, got his hand up in the air but misfielded it, and that punt travels about 27 yards to the 35-yard line. St. Xavier with excellent field position. Dan, I got to say, let's see him put it up in the air here right away and maybe
I think
catch the Cardinals flat-footed.
You're in their territory. Colerain's got a little confusion on defense here, just getting in a late substitute. But they've got to make that running game work, Dave.
Andy Kettler calling out the signals behind the offensive line. So far, Brett Heaven Street has really, St. Xavier jumped as Dan Hayes came flying forward. That's going to cost St. Xavier 5 yards. Hayes just a little bit anxious there. But Dan, Brett Heaven Street, as I was saying, number 44, has really plagued the St. Xavier offensive line so far as he's playing an outstanding ball game.
He sure is, Dave. The other thing that's happening down there is that the Colerain defensive line, okay, they're keeping all the ex-blockers off the linebacker, which they're designed to do. Thomas, Visconti, Rabe, Pennington, and Meyer are just there's nobody getting to the linebackers, so they're free to close at any time and go to the point of attack.
Nick Riley on the handoff inside. So the Bombers, Dan, are really simplifying their offense, bringing Nick Riley, their big play man, catching the long passes from Joe Sprengard to try to get a little speed in the backfield. But Riley, only with a 3-yard gain there. It's going to be second down and about 12 yards to go from the 37-yard line, as the Colerain Cardinal defense is really putting the hits on the St. Xavier offense. There you see the Cardinal on the side of the helmet. And Dan, as you said, this Colerain community.
Absolutely.
Riley, the ball carrier.
Is going to try to grind it out at 2 and 3 yards a carry, and right now that's just not working for him.
I tell you what, Dave, that's the best seam they've had all night. That one worked pretty well. As far as their plays that worked tonight, because he had a seam, but he didn't get there quite quick enough. He gets there a little quicker, Dave. That's a 15-yard gain.
Third down and about 8. Cox to one side, Cafaro to the other side. Here comes the blitz, and Kettler is not able to do anything as Colerain saw it coming, and Andy Kettler just gets crunched in the backfield as Andy. The blitz coming from both sides. Number 90, Joe Rabe, and number 49, David Thomas, really put the hit on Kettler.
Boy, they shot the gaps on this play, and they weren't touched, Dave.
Watch 90 and 49 just blitz right in there.
90 just bulled everybody out of the way. That's Joe Rabe, 5'9", 185. Dave, those kids, that was just desire. That's the other thing about this ball game here. We're at the quarter here, but desire is the other thing in this game, and we know that the coaches have got their kids up. Right now, looks like emotion's a little bit higher on the Colerain side, and they're able to. That's just a desire play. I want to get to the quarterback. I'm going to beat you at the line of scrimmage. Just a simple, smash mouth football, I guess you might call it.
Fourth down and about 11 yards to go. We said it at the top of the broadcast that this would probably be a very close game and that it would be a defensive struggle, and right now that's what it is. We're at 0-0, just about ready to start the second quarter, as Tim Banker's going to try to hang one up and pin the Colerain Cardinals deep. The Colerain defense has absolutely stuffed the inside running game of the St. Xavier Bombers. Andy Kettler has attempted 2 passes. He's been sacked, and his pass to Lamar Marshall fell incomplete. On offense, the Colerain Cardinals have had to put in number 11, Ray Bonar, and the St. Xavier defense has been able to stop the Cardinals' rushing attack. Banker taking it all the way across the field. Can they get there to stop it as it bounces inside the 10-yard line? They're going to let it roll, and they're going to drop it down on about the 5-yard line again. So Tim Banker does his job, Dan. He took it all the way across the field. Only 30 yards, but keeps them down to the 5-yard line.
Tell you, Dave, that's a 30-yard punt on the statistics, but if it goes into the end zone, that's a 45-yard punt. In effect, because they pin him down there, X again picks up field position. It was only 4 more yards, but 4 yards in a game like this, a field position is key. Now X has got to gamble a bit. They got to go after him. Colerain has to come out and execute to get out of the hole.
Power I formation. All 3 running backs in right behind Bonar. Bonar with the first fake, then the handoff to Alexander. Alexander was one-on-one on the outside, but he was not able to get around the 10-yard line as Ronnie Alexander runs into Tim Banker right there.
Tim Banker, the pressure was put on Banker. That's the intent of the option there. I'm sorry, people are handing us papers and talking in our ears, but we'll get it together here. But that's the intent, to put the pressure on that man out there, Dave. It was one-on-one. That's the Colerain offense working just the way it's supposed to work. Banker came through. Alexander came through with 5 yards.
Second down, 5 yards to go. The Cardinals are picking up at about 5 yards a clip on first down. Handoff inside to Nettles. Nettles breaks through the first tackle. Nettles bowls forward, and Nettles is going to be marked very close to the first down, and with a good spot, he may have the first down. And Dan, that would be the first down of this game. He's still short, so it's going to be 3rd and 1. Neither team with the first down in the first half. Number 5 is coming back to action, and the Colerain Cardinal fans have jumped up as David Murphy, a big return to action for Colerain.
Great
Number 5, the junior quarterback A big pickup here, and let's see if they can get the first down. Handoff to Alexander, met behind the line. Ronnie Alexander hit by Lamar Marshall and Sal Jaleen.
Sal Jaleen, Submarines, grabs his feet, and there's nobody can run with their ankles locked together. Now, let's see if Sal Jaleen shot that gap in there on this replay. It looked like, we talked about desire before. Watch Jaleen come in. He's underneath, Marshall on the top, Sal Jaleen on the bottom. I'll tell you what, if St. X wants to block a punt, Dave, here's the one chance.
Nick Riley deep. Gussick is up close. Let's see if they peel off. Usually the Bombers put two back. They're coming right up the middle. Fumble, and he falls on it, and then Mike Wenstrup takes him down. A big mistake for the Colerain Cardinals deep in their own territory. But Dan, the one good thing that he didn't do, Casey Schurz was smart enough not to kick it and get it blocked into the end zone for 6 points. So here, Casey Schurz falls on the ball. Watch inside as you see Gussick and Marshall coming right up the middle. The snap was a little low, and Schurz did not let it go into the end zone.
He got a
The
one-hopper.
Colerain defense can come up real big here. They've not allowed a first down, and they've allowed very, very few yards. Andy Kettler coming up. The Bombers with a power backfield. Number 11, Tim Banker, defensive end, into block. Banker with the block, but Barrett Doxey is nailed behind the line of scrimmage for at least a 2-yard loss by Brett Hebenstreet. And what a maneuver by Hebenstreet as he comes up big.
Well, I'll tell you, Hebenstreet is just one heck of a ball player.
Dan, they're going to give his forward progress back to the line of scrimmage, but watch Hebenstreet drive him backwards there, and Doxey had the ball coming out, but he did cover up. Second down, 2 yards to go. Big play for the Colerain defense as they did it on the first down, driving St. X backwards off the line of scrimmage. Hand off to Banker. Banker trying to dive over. Banker does not make it, gets down to the 1. And Dan, I think we saw motion here on the left side of the St. Xavier line.
Dave, X looks a little ragtag. Again, I applaud the simplicity of the offense, but they're a little ragtag and they're not executing. You don't capitalize in a situation like this and let a team like Colerain up, they'll beat your brains in. And they're doing exactly that right now. They're stopping X cold.
Right now, the Colerain fans are definitely louder than the St. Xavier fans. As you see the Cardinal in the stands there, they're willing their team to stop St. X. Let's see if the Bombers go to the air here. Andy Kettler calling out the signals. Kettler with the fake to Hayes. Rollout. He's got Cox open, but Kettler pulls it down and is knocked down behind the line of scrimmage by number 26, Brian Burr. Burr with the big hit for the Cardinals as he had Cox open down the middle, but would not pull the trigger, Dan.
Well, it looks like they got him reading a pretty simple route, Dave. He reads the first man, and if he's not open, I think we're guessing there, but it looks like he doesn't go to a secondary receiver. And
St. X is going to take a timeout.
He had some people open, but it's the young man's first go here. He also, to his credit, he's doing what we think he's supposed to be doing there, and he throws the ball to the end zone, gets it intercepted. Boy, it's an emotional crusher for St. X. Turning it around for Colerain. Burr just simply shot in there. What they do with that I think they call him a strong halfback or a quarterback, okay? He'll come up and he'll force the end, and he'll be crashing on a definite pass pattern like that, get in there and try to disrupt, which is exactly what he did and got the sack. So here we go, Dave.
Coach Steve Grasso is really hoping that the Bombers pick up 10 yards here as they had first and goal on the 2-yard line. A motion penalty cost them 5 yards, and they've been sacked in the backfield twice. Third down and 10 yards to go from the 10-yard line. The Colerain defense right now, the MVPs of the game, as Kerry Combs would love to get out of here with St. Xavier just trying a field goal. Lamar Marshall split out left. Hayes and Doxey in the backfield. Let's see if Kettler rolls. Kettler looking for Marshall. He's going to throw it up in the air. It's going to be Marshall and Taylor. Intercepted by Taylor. The worst thing that Andy Kettler could have done. Andy Kettler threw it up but didn't throw it over Kevin Taylor. And Taylor, who had 2 blocked punts last time, comes up with the automatic play, and the Colerain defense shuts down the Bombers.
I'll tell you, it's a tough one. He throws the ball up for grabs. It's Marshall against Taylor. Here it is. Taylor wants it. He goes up. He's got inside position. Even Marshall can't reach over him and get it, Dave. It's underthrown. Unfortunately, boy, I'll tell you, that could be a key play in the ball game.
We saw that play earlier this year, Dan, where Kettler did complete one of his passes to Marshall, but you got to throw it over his shoulder and get it out of bounds, so at least you get the 3 points. Murphy on the keeper, hits the seam, and is driven down after a pickup of about 8 yards as David Murphy with the good fake inside and then rolls outside, and that's a big pickup for the Cardinals as they have.
They go, Dave. Incidentally, Murphy's all Southwest Ohio too. I think was announced today, and boy, did he look! He came with a mission on that play. He went out there and gained 8 yards. He wanted to say, "Hey, I'm back and I'm full speed."
Second down and about 2 yards to go as David Murphy brings it out to the 28-yard line. A turnover by St. Xavier. They're second in the game. Cost them a chance for 3 points. The handoff, fake to Nettles inside. Then Murphy dives over the line. He'll pick up the first down as Murphy with the read, and that's the second first down of the game, Dan. Both of them going to Colerain.
Real interesting call, Dave. This is the way Colerain plays the ball. They play it close, they play control ball. You'd think maybe, like you got 2nd and 2, you'd go for a big play. Let's keep the ball. A lot of good things happen when you got the ball. A lot of bad things can happen to them when you don't have it. So that's typical Colerain football. Nice play by Murphy, nice blocking up front.
Alexander split out here in a wingback position. Nettles in the backfield. Alexander going in motion. Murphy with the fake to Nettles. Murphy going to cut up. Murphy could go all the way. Only Mike Wenstrup can knock him down. Wenstrup not going to get him, but Gussick catches him from behind as David Murphy took off from his 31-yard line. Faked the pitch to Ronnie Alexander. Cut up field all the way to the 22. And right now, momentum going the way of the Colerain Cardinals. They're showing you why they're the #1 ranked team in Cincinnati.
Wahoo! Watch this read by Murphy. He reads the linebacker goes outside, Murphy cuts it up, and he turns on the Jets. I'll tell you, it's only a super play by Gussick that saves a touchdown. I want to tell you, what a ball player this kid is, and he can run, Dave.
A momentum swing here for the Colerain Cardinals as it looked like they could go down 7-0. Instead, their defense comes up with the interception. Their offense is roaring as there's Mike Nettles trying to pull ahead. Nettles with the rush.
And Jefferson Kelly blocking down on the middle guard for St. X. Just opened a tremendous hole. It's 6'6", 306. You think maybe the kid can't move. He's going to stay up too high. He's got great feet, Dave. This kid really looks good. Jefferson Kelly.
Second down and about 5 yards to go as they're deep in St. Xavier territory on the 17-yard line. David Murphy with the big run for the Cardinals. Coming off the bench, his knee was hurt on the first play of the game. He's been taped up, he's in there now. Pitch out to Alexander. Alexander surrounded by blue. Alexander, the ball popped out, but then he pulled it back in as he was hit by number 11, Tim Banker, and number 70, Bob Malinowski. Coming up also on the play for St. X was number 41, Barrett Doxey.
Boy, they have Colerain's turned the whole complexion around, haven't they? Great substitution by Colerain. Really an emotional time there. Nice play calling. X doesn't know what to expect on the outside now. They got the pitch out there off the same formation. So a lot of pressure on that defensive end and the linebackers from St. X.
The return. The Colerain fans as they're on their feet and cheering here. Hand off to Alexander, and he found nothing inside. Ronnie Alexander looked like he had a hole, but then Barrett Doxey, number 41, along with Chris Hoffman, tough Ronnie
call,
Alexander. Now Kerry Combs has the decision to make. Let's see where they're going to spot the ball.
Interesting spot.
Oh, a very good spot for the Cardinals as it's down to the 23-yard line, 4th down and 1. Dan, I thought he was stopped back closer to the 24-yard line, which probably would have meant a field goal. Number 82 bringing in the play is Kevin McCord. So the Colerain fans are up and cheering. The St. Xavier fans rise to their feet. This is what high school football is all about.
Amen.
4th down and about 1 yard to go. David Murphy calling out the signals. Power backfield, handoff to Murphy. Murphy doesn't get it as number 48, Mike Marshall with the big hit. And unless they really give him a good spot, I don't think they're going to make it. But it looks like a very, very generous spot here.
Dave, it's a good spot, and he doesn't make it by 6 inches is my guess. let's watch this spot. I think these officials do a heck of a job.
Marshall comes
Nice.
up with the big hit, and Gusick underneath.
You can see his forward progress is just shy of the 12-yard line there, and that's almost exactly where it was marked. Looks like he's short by 6 inches, half a foot.
Make it not
First.
They're going to make it by 6. So the 1st and 10 on the back on their own 20 line.
See, we can see things better up here, Dave, than anybody can see down there. 6 inches, you're right. A game of inches. Colerain going after 6. 4 minutes to go in the half.
Alexander, the ball carrier. Baker and Marshall on the tackle for St. X.
I'm looking for a keeper. I'm looking for Murphy to keep the ball. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. So we're experiencing a little technical difficulty here with Dave, and we'll call this game here. Murphy at quarterback. Okay. Here comes the option. Oh. Stop play there. Maybe a little motion initial motion here.
It could be a dangerous penalty here against the Cardinals, as it was a 5-yard penalty.
Okay, so we're Dave's back. He's on with us here. He's got his mic. He's ready to go. So little motion penalty there, Dave. You know, my heart went pity-pat because we don't want you to go away on the air with us here. I'd have to have all the air time. Hog it all.
Second down, about 13 yards to go for the first down as the Cardinals were whistled for procedure. So they ran into the same problem St. X did. Let's see if they come out throwing here. Murphy is going to drop back. He's got a man open over the middle. Murphy with the pass up in the air, incomplete, tipped, and then it hit the ground. As it was tipped up in the air, Mike Wenstrup able to tip it up, but then number 81, Marquise Williams, almost made the catch for the Cardinals.
Great effort by Marquise Williams. He almost pulls that ball down deep in the end zone there. So now we're down here, interesting, to a 3rd and 12, Dave.
Interesting that the Cardinals passed, Dan. As you said, 10 touchdown passes, so Kerry Combs is not afraid to put it up in the air. Steve Rasso put it up in the air, and Andy Kettler threw it a little short for the interception. Let's see what he does this time. Same formation as we saw last time.
Watch the tight end, 86.
Fake inside, he's looking down the middle. What a play by Lamar Marshall as he just reached right over Thompson and knocked it away. Dan Murphy went down hard on the ground again, but he's getting up as David Murphy was hit after he released the ball. But you're not going to beat the Southwest Ohio Player of the Year, Lamar Marshall, as he came back. A great pass by Murphy, though.
Okay, the Colerain fans are screaming interference, but I think it was a clean play. The tight read, inside release, ball's tipped away. Dave,
This
said a
could be
kicking
where
game's going to decide it. Here we go.
Casey Sher
31. All right, here we go. I tell you what, he converted that ball. We got some interesting audio problems again, but I'll tell you what, the ball was converted from 31 yards. He could have made that kick from 51 yards. Very, very nicely done. To see the Colerain fans, they're excited, they're fired up. I'll tell you what, this is what high school football is all about. So 2 minutes and 25 seconds to go. Colerain cheerleaders leading their team on to victory in the first half. Scores 3-0. Colerain, again, after a nice drive, completed a 31-yard field goal there. X wasn't close to blocking it, and the ball, like I say, was good from a long distance. So I think we're back together again here, and if not, you're with me the rest of the night. What I was saying on the kickoff, Dave, here is Colerain kind of kicks the ball down hard on the ground, hard to handle, and they kind of swing the gate in and trap it against the sideline. If Gusick or one of the Xavier deep backs can get to the left side, return left here, they got a chance to go a long way.
Riley's got a seam to the outside, but Riley taken down by number 2, Justin Roden. Roden with the tackle for the Cardinals there.
Okay. So
we'll look at 1st and 10 for St. Xavier from the 35-yard line as the Colerain Cardinals. Dan, I thought the big play was the third down interception by the Cardinals, as that stopped St. Xavier from almost a sure field goal. So a 6-point swing there for Colerain, and that's
right.
why they're up 3-0 with 2 minutes and 6 seconds left in the first half. Andy Kettler could not get the handoff. Now Kettler with the pitch to Riley. Riley surrounded by 5 Colerain defenders. And the St. Xavier Bomber coaching staff is going to have to look at perhaps changing the offensive strategy, as right now the quicker Colerain defense, Dan, just able to get out there. Number 44, Brett Heavenstreet, leading the charge.
Number 25, Dave, for Colerain too. Nice play on him. Colerain is simply quicker on defense than X is on offense. And X can't get too fancy here. They have to execute quickly, and that's tough with a new quarterback in there. So X is going to have to root him out down in the trenches, or it's going to be a long night.
The Colerain defense has caused 2 turnovers, one leading to this 3-0 lead with 1 minute 24 seconds. Kettler throws the ball, and it's knocked down by number 49, David Thomas. Thomas with the knockdown as Kettler was looking to find his tight end over the middle. And it's going to be 3rd down and about 12 yards to go. 1 minute, 16 seconds remaining here in the first quarter.
I think I'm going to have to bow to Dave, the Swami. If X doesn't throw that ball and loosen him up a little bit, Dave, they're stuffing him. Right now, Kettler got lucky. That ball was ticketed for an interception also. And he's got to get some confidence. All he's got to do is complete one, have one good run, not play so tentatively. He'll be just fine in the second half.
Kettler calling out the signal, split backfield. Riley stays inside the block. Kettler takes off on a quarterback draw as the Bombers only sent 2 players out. Gain maybe of about 3 yards back to the 35-yard line. 4th down and about 10 yards to go for St. X. Timeout Colerain. Dan, they want to score one more time before half.
Amen. That's nice. One of the things we called early, Dave, was that Colerain has a chance to block a kick against St. X. They have a really neatly designed rush, and also they put 10 men on the line of scrimmage and just outnumber the people going downfield. And there are also gaps open. They'll try to set up number 26 on the block. Would be my guess here. Let's see if I can find his name.
Brian Burr.
Yeah, Burr. They might try to set up Burr on the block. I mean, this kid is quick. He's a great athlete. I think he intercepted the pass here a little while ago, Dave. And they got a chance. They got 1 minute 6 to go. But I think X is the snap is a little bit slow, in my opinion, coming back. And let's see if they go after the kick.
And sometimes Banker's a little slow in getting the kick off. So number 11, Tim Banker, who's had a good night kicking so far.
All right, here we go.
Banker gets a high one off here. Let's see if they're going to let it bounce. It is going to bounce, and it's going to take a St. Xavier bounce. As it bounced at the 40-yard line, it keeps rolling as the clock winds down here to about the 27-yard line. So Tim Banker able to get it off quickly. Dan, it looks like both punters getting the kickoff.
Yep. Banker, made a liar out of us that time. He got that ball off. The snap came back just fine. And bam, he got the kickoff. But I guess sometimes when you look in your crystal ball, not everything comes up. But I'd still watch. I'd watch for that punt. And you know what else I'd watch for? I'd watch for Colerain to put that ball in the air right here, Dave.
David Murphy tried to do it last time. Lamar Marshall with the great play. You see our score. The Colerain Cardinals, number 1 ranked in the city, 3, and the St. Xavier Bombers 0. St. X going to try to strip the ball inside as Alexander is tackled by Hoffman on top. And down underneath, I believe, was number 41, Barrett Doxey, along with number 71, Sal Jaleen. 19 seconds left in the first half. Let's see if the Cardinals call timeout or just let the clock run out here.
Go for a kneel down here, Dave. Colerain's far too disciplined to try anything crazy. The last down, you might have thrown the ball downfield, so what? It's like a punt. But now they'll just do a kneel down or just let the clock run out. Go into the locker room with the lead.
That's the end of the first half with the score. The Colerain Cardinals 3, the St. Xavier Bombers 0. Colerain on an 80-yard drive after stopping St. Xavier from a 1st and goal on their own 2-yard line go into the halftime with a 3-0 lead. We'll be back after these messages along the Waycross Community Network.
Tonight's football game is being
You spend most of your time here, and most people think they get into car crashes here. But 3 out of 4 traffic crashes actually happen here. 1/2 of all fatal traffic crashes happen on roads with posted speed limits below 55 miles per hour. So if you're only using your safety belt here, you're not using it enough. Buckle up. Every time, every trip.
Pneumonia! Oh, it's you, sir. Ah, yes, sir. I know I missed my quota again. Yes, sir. I do remember polio, but it's this shot everyone's getting. It protects people from pneumonia, and it's covered by Medicare. I'm sorry, sir, but what can I do? Just concentrate on older people who didn't get the shot? You're right. That is a lot.
Ask your doctor. Get the shot.
Colerain High School is proud to present the Colerain High School Cardinal Marching Band. The band is under the field direction of drum majors Katrina Davis, Beth Brody, and Jeff Lasting. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Colerain High School Cardinal Marching Band.
once again some halftime statistics that have to be with. And that high school is Colerain has 59. For the record, Wild with 4 carries, 68 yards, and 9 yards. Colerain's leading rusher is David Murphy. He has 5 carries, and that's 62 yards.
Okay.
We're back at Nippert Stadium with the score: the Colerain Cardinals 3 and the St. Xavier Bombers 0. The big play of the first half, the interception by number 24, Kevin Taylor. Right after that, Dan, the return of David Murphy, a 72-yard drive, and the field goal from 31 yards, and that's the only score in the game.
Dave, their leader, Colerain's offensive leader, Murphy comes back on. What an emotional substitution. The kid's adrenaline is pumping. He runs the option, goes outside for 35 or 31 yards, whatever it was. Terrific player. The other thing that's the Colerain defense was sometimes a little bit maligned here. They're for real. These kids can play ball, especially the two linebackers. They are just outstanding. And the whole defense, I don't want to just pick one name. That's why I'm not saying one name. That's a total team unit. Coach Schweitzer told me down there on the field, this is almost a no-name defense, but they can all play, and they're doing very, very well. X failed to capitalize on the other side, Dave. They had several breaks and didn't capitalize. Emotionally, they've got to be down. I've got to bow to, like I said, the Swami. Dave, X has to throw the ball to get back in this one, Dave, and then there's some risks associated with putting that ball in the air.
The big risk we saw in the first half was Andy Kettler did not throw it over the head of Lamar Marshall, and because of that, Kevin Taylor stepped in front for the interception. Otherwise, it could very easily be 3-3 because it would have been a little chip shot for the St. Xavier field goal kicker. The first half statistics very revealing. St. X with no first downs. As a matter of fact, St. X with only 5 minutes of the ball in the first half. Colerain carrying the ball for over 18 minutes in that first half, almost 19 minutes. So the St. Xavier offense 3 in, 3 out. And this is really pushing the St. Xavier defense to the brink. They might be tired in the fourth quarter.
Okay. We're going to look down there on the field, and we got a reaction shot of after this field goal was kicked, Dave, the only score in the first half. And we're going to take a look at the monitor here. As you see,
just watch number 6, Casey Schurz here. That's all you need to watch, is you can watch him as he kicks it. And there it is. Schurz knows that he's got it. There's Ray Bonar, number 11, who had to come in for the Cardinals and quarterback this team while David Murphy was injured. If we look at the statistics, Dan, as I said, the most revealing one, St. X 5 minutes and 8 seconds of offense. Colerain 18 minutes and 52 seconds. The major drive in the first half, a 72-yard drive by the Colerain Cardinals. A 5-yard penalty pushed them back, and they then had to accept a field goal from Casey Schurz. But that was definitely the only score that we've had. St. Xavier has had 3 turnovers, and Colerain has fumbled the ball once. So the turnover department for St. X, they've only lost 2 of those. They recovered one of their own fumbles. Dan, we said it would be a game of field position, a game of kicking, and a game of breaks. Trying to go down to head coach Kerry Combs here as he's talking to his Cardinals.
I tell you, he's a hands-on guy, isn't he? I'll tell you, we talked about the game being a game of emotion, and I want to tell you what, he and the coaches got them fired up, Dave. I'll tell you what, emotionally, Colerain's got to be on top of the world, not only from the coach's speech, but they've won at X first and goal on the 2 or 3 yard line, and X doesn't convert. Now, you can say X doesn't convert, Colerain stops them, X stops themselves. I don't care how you read it. They didn't score 4 downs to make 3 yards, and they couldn't do it. Want to go back to what we led in with a little bit here, and think about these names across the front of the defense. David Thomas, that's Dan Viscovi, Joe Rabe, Jason Pennington, Brian Burr. And then the 2 linebackers we were talking about, Brett Havenstreet and Mike Freeman. Those front 7 have played as well as you could ask anybody to play. And I'm not sliding Tyler, Roden, Kostoff, and Bryant in the back, because those kids have done everything asked of them too. Simply, the Colerain defense has just done an excellent job, Dave, and has held X to practically nothing.
The Colerain defense, if they play like this on their way out with the potent offense that the Colerain Cardinals have, they could be a major force continuing on upstate. But we've got 24 minutes left. The St. Xavier Bombers are going to try to regain some confidence here, but the Colerain gets the ball first. They're going to try and put them down even more. The kick coming down here on about the 9-yard line to number 9, Calvin Banks. Banks trying to skip up underneath, but number 11, Tim Banker, with the stop for the Bombers, along with number 35, Chris Hoffman. So Hoffman and Banker on the stop, and the Cardinals, Dan, will start at their 28-yard line. If they go 72 yards here, this could really put the pressure on the Bombers.
Dave, I was watching Murphy on the sidelines there, number 5, just joining the Colerain there, and he looked good. Looked like he had good mobility. Wasn't wincing in pain as he warmed up. Looks like he's ready to go.
Well, he made the big read in the run of about 47 yards for the big one. The handoff to Alexander. They tried to strip Alexander of the ball. Nobody tackled him, but he cannot regain his composure. But Alexander rumbles from the 27-yard line all the way to the Colerain 45, and Alexander with an 18-yard gain. The Bombers trying to strip the ball out, and Alexander just kept running for the goal.
Boy, I'll tell you what, we've talked about the Colerain backs running with authority. There's a perfect example. The kid was spun around, showed great strength. We got a timeout here, Dave, for Colerain. I don't timeout called either the officials or Colerain, but there he is running with official timeout to get the sticks set. Now we're ready to go. What an excellent run by Alexander.
First down, 10 yards to go from the 45-yard line as Murphy quickly sets himself underneath center. David Murphy, the junior, he'll be back to tantalize the Cincinnati fans again next year, as will this man in motion, 24, Alexander. Handoff inside to Nettles. Nettles is going to gain about 2 yards underneath as Sal Jaleen, number 71. We've called his name a lot tonight with the big tackle underneath.
Nice play by Jaleen. The read was inside. They tried to block Jaleen, but he eluded it, got in there and got Alexander, kept him from getting started. Here we're going to go wide, Dave. Looking like they're probably going to go wide on this play.
Nettles picked up 3 on the play, second down and about 7 to go. You can notice the little stickers there on the Colerain helmets. That's showing points given out by the coaches to earn those stickers that are put on there. Murphy's going to take it out wide. Murphy with the pitch. He's hit. Biting along with Banker are able to knock Alexander down after a gain of about 2. Murphy took the hit, but he made a great pitch to Ronnie Alexander. Alexander with the short gain, and it's going to be about 3rd and maybe 4, Dan.
Well, I'll tell you, key down for St. X and, of course, for Colerain. But already Colerain has established field position, because even if they do have to punt, don't convert, they've got X pinned back deep. So, boy, I'll tell you, big play here. Let's see who rises to the occasion, Dave.
3rd down and about 4. Coming out wide is Calvin Banks. Banks split out here closest to us. Dan, he looks like he'd like to run an inside route. Murphy with the fake. Murphy with 2 fakes. He's got number 81 open over the middle. He's going to have to pull it up. And Sal Jaleen with the big hit. Sal Jaleen hit David Murphy right as he let it go. Then the two helped each other up with a good show of sportsmanship there. But Murphy's pass goes out of bounds. And so it's going to be 4th down and 5 yards to go. And number 6, Casey Schurz, will be in for the punt. Nick Riley going to try to break one here. As Dan, it was said in the papers early on in the week, it could come down to can Nick Riley make a big break for the Bombers, and I think he's going to try it here. St. X look like they want to send a lot of people. They got 10 men on the line as they studied the Colerain films. They're going to peel off here a little bit, but then they come, not able to get there. So Riley's going to have to field it on the run. Riley fielded it on the run, and he did fumble it. 1st down, Colerain, as Nick Riley made the wrong decision there. He came up, fell down. The field did not cause the fumble, and so Colerain basically gets a 13-yard punt that results in a Cardinal 1st down. Watch the punt from Schurz here. The Bombers are coming, but they don't get there. And now watch Riley. He's a little slow in coming up, and then he didn't hit the ground first, Dan. So the ground did not cause the fumble, and Colerain with the 1st down, and the St. X defense really has to dig in now. Colerain in their passing formation as Murphy calls out the signals. Now Alexander comes in motion. Watch for the pitch to Alexander. Murphy cuts it up underneath, and David Murphy roars down to the 20-yard line for a pickup of a good 7 yards.
Well, I'll tell you what, you can't keep giving a great team like Colerain breaks like that. It's unfortunate. One of those end-over-end punts wavering down there at you. But boy, I'll tell you what, Dave, X is killing itself.
Riley did try to make the big play. It could end up hurting the Bombers unless their defense can rise to the occasion. But right now, we're watching the Colerain Cardinal offense eat up both clock as they did in the 1st half and yardage. This is David Murphy with the straight drop back. Wenstrup with the hit. Oh, right in the hands of Calvin Banks as Mike Baradoxy had the hit on the quarterback, Dan. Mike Wenstrup with the coverage. If he'd have turned around, he'd have had the interception, and it just bounced out of Banks' hand, or that was 6 points.
I think we'll see on the replay, it hits him in a bad place, right in the number 9. This ball hits him right in the 9. Oh my, he couldn't have thrown that ball any better. That was a touchdown.
Whew, what a throw by Murphy, and you can see why the Cardinals have 10 touchdown passes. That's twice. They've dropped them in there. Now we're looking at 3rd and 3. Handoff inside to Nettles. Nettles rumbles forward before he's driven backwards, and we're going to get the spot, and we could have another field goal, or we could have the sticks coming out for a 1st down measurement. Let's see where they put the ball. 1st down, Cardinals, as Mike Nettles picks up the 3 yards. 1st and 10, Colerain just inside the 17. The Cardinal offense asking the fans to come alive here.
Well, I'll tell you, Dave, they score here. It's going to be a long, tough road back for St. X. But let's credit Nettles, and let's credit that offensive line up there in front. Again, Kelly, Foles, Little, Story, and Kremer, and Roden, okay? I'm telling you, those kids are doing the job.
Murphy going to call out the signals, a power I backfield. St. X trying to cover. Long count. Murphy with the handoff inside. Nettles is met right at the line.
Sal Jaleen again, it looks like.
Sal Jaleen coming underneath. So Jaleen with the big tackle along with number 52, J.D. Biting. Maybe a yard for Nettles. We'll look at 2nd down and 9 yards to go. But with this potent Colerain offense, you've got to watch all 3 of the backs, Dan. Nettles as well as especially Alexander, and Murphy has proven he can cut it up underneath.
Dave, I'd look for this Martini maybe in this situation here, 41. He hasn't had the ball very much tonight.
Tony Tarver is spread out wide here to the left. They've got a man in the slot. Here comes the pitch to Alexander. Alexander got a blocker in front. Gusick was blitzing on the play. Fumble on the play, but Alexander was down. So it's not going to go, as Alexander had already been down before the ball got coughed up on that play. Officials right on the spot. It's going to be 3rd down and about 9 as the Bombers guessed and came with a blitz. The Colerain Cardinals went to Ronnie Alexander, and I got a feeling they may want to come back to Alexander. He's having a good ball game.
Well, I'll tell you what, my pick is, again, Murphy, okay? Or maybe we'll get Maybe we'll get Martini, or maybe we'll get tight end Roden on this one, Dave.
We're down to about 6 minutes remaining here. The St. Xavier offense has not been on the field. That defense has to be tiring. Murphy with the run inside. Murphy cracks it down inside the 10-yard line to just about the 7 or 8. And this is going to be close enough for a measurement, or are they just going to, they're going to call it 4th and 1. They're going to call it 4th and 1 on the play. Here comes the replay.
Well, I'll tell you, what a read by Murphy. Look at this. He reads the defensive end. The defensive end doesn't commit. He is gone.
J.D. Biting could not get through the block. The Colerain fans saying go for it. The Cardinal offense here looking to the sidelines for the play, and they may going to have to call a timeout here, and Colerain does that. Timeout Cardinals with 5 minutes and 44 seconds remaining as head coach Kerry Combs wants to talk it over with upstairs. 4th and 1. If the Bombers hold, they take over. If not, they've got to face 4 more downs inside their 10-yard line.
Well,
there you see a good shot on the sideline, Dan, of head coach Combs there talking to his offensive coordinator.
Let's see
He's
if we
trying
can
to
hear
make
it
up his
down
mind
there.
here.
He hasn't said anything yet. Of course, he's listening from upstairs, and he's getting the call. This is a crucial call in the ball game, and boy, I'll tell you what, you really got to depend on somebody upstairs. That's Coach Schweitzer there with the ball cap on. You saw it to right.
Dan, I believe they may want to run behind that big offensive line, as they do have the 305-pounder up there. You heard Coach Kerry Combs call it out right there. Gentlemen, this is for the game. So he believes that if they can convert the first down here, and I agree with him, they could really put the pressure on the St. Xavier Bombers and come up with it.
This is it. We're looking for Mike Nettles or maybe Murphy on this one, Dave.
Power I backfield behind Murphy. St. X staying in a standard defense. The pitch to Alexander. He's got room to the outside. Marshall just able to get a hand on him to take him down, but not before the first down. A great pitch from David Murphy as he throws it out to Alexander. 1st and goal from the 5-yard line.
I'll tell you what, if that was athleticism all the way through. Murphy reads just right, makes
Watch
a perfect
Murphy with
pitch.
the quick
Alexander fakes, then Marshall makes a superhuman dive to keep it going from a touchdown. Just great athleticism all the way through. Boy, St. X has got their backs against the wall now, Dave. This defense has been heroic. Let's see if they can make one more stand.
They've really been out on that field a long time. They have to be tired as Murphy calls out the signals. Murphy with the fake inside the Nettles. I believe they're going to get a 5-yard penalty for illegal motion here.
Looked like Little might have jumped a little bit there. 6'4", 210. I'm sorry to signal him out, but the emotion is so high and everything's just running here. So, you know, it's so exciting that, yeah, motion there, movement on the front, on the line for Colerain.
First down.
Big break for St. X. It's 1st and 10 now instead of 1st and 5, Dave. Big difference.
David Murphy made the good pitch as Barrett Doxey was coming on that 4th down play, but Murphy saw it, read it, didn't panic, Dan, and made the quick pitch, and Alexander converted. Let's see how the Cardinals line up now. They're in that power I backfield as Murphy is underneath calling out the signals. They've had the ball every second of the 3rd quarter. St. Xavier has not run an offensive play. Here's the pitch out to Alexander, and he runs into Mike Marshall. Michael Marshall, who saw that one, came up and drops Alexander right on the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 10 yards to go. Both sidelines are tense as this could determine the game.
Okay, X does outside contain here. Number 11 for St. X. It's just jams everything up and clears everything away for Mike Marshall. There's nobody there except Marshall in the ball clear area. So number 11 for St. X, Dave, really did a great job.
Calvin Banks is split out against Lamar Marshall. They'll be one-on-one. Let's see if he looks for Banks. Tight end open over the middle. Mike Marshall with the interception. He better hold the ball in. Marshall gets tackled on the 11-yard line. The St. Xavier defense pulls a Colerain Cardinal defense as they get the turnover inside the 10-yard line.
Incredible. And who's all everyone? Okay. Go ahead, Dave, call it.
Watch Mike Marshall just fall back here. He looked open and Marshall just stepped in. He's got the ball out like a breadbasket. The St. Xavier defense, Dan, has come up with 16 interceptions, and now the offense has to do something as James Cox sprints off the field. Kettler calling out the signals, handoff to Hayes. Hayes breaks 3 tackles. Hayes up to the 19-yard line. So Dan Hayes with a gain of about 8 yards, and that may be the longest play from scrimmage for the St. Xavier offense.
It definitely is. And another thing they did, Dave, is they ran on a slant there, okay? Hayes had a slant outside there. Instead of going right at him, they're running off. You run off the tackle's butt there, okay? He just slants to the outside. Boy, let's have some more of it.
This Cardinal defense has been absolutely outstanding. Take nothing away from them as they have not given up a first down yet. This is Barrett Doxey, and that's the first down of the game with 2 minutes and 54 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
Well, I'll tell you what, Barrett Doxey had both arms, his uniform, his shoulder pad, and maybe his belt on his pants around that ball that time, Dave. He's taking no chances. He's got to be tired out there. He's played just about every play of this ball game.
He's played every play of this ball game almost.
And he didn't have much of a crevice, but again, they ran the same play the other side. Maybe they found a little
Nick
crevice.
Riley is split out. He's got one-on-one coverage with Kevin Taylor, who made the big interception in the first half. Here's the handoff inside to Doxey. Doxey finds a hole. Rumbles for about 9, maybe 10. Could be a first down. And St. Xavier, Dan, trying to come to life here.
Interesting, Dave. I think they got a good trap block here. Watch the line. See the center of the line get off the ball that time? There's a bubble there in the middle where the linebackers are kind of, what a bubble means, there's just a little space there. And that time, St. X got off the ball and exploited that bubble, and they got some good positive yardage.
Second down, about 1. They're on the 34-yard line. Kettler calling out the signals.
Double team.
Little mix-up in the backfield, but he got the handoff in. That'll be enough for a first down to the 37-yard line. This Cardinal defense, Dan, is not giving up a lot. They're going to make them really grind it out.
Nothing, I tell you right now, nothing could be better for St. X, both in a confidence-building situation for both the quarterback, the young quarterback in there, and the whole St. X offensive team. They're moving the Colerain Cardinals off the line for the first time tonight.
The Colerain Cardinals are ahead 3-0. They went on a 72-yard drive. Doxey hitting the backfield.
Nope.
Oh, correction. Kettler kept the ball on the handoff. What a great fake there by Kettler, Dan, as both men hit Doxey in the backfield, but Andy Kettler held on to the ball out to about the 41-yard line, pickup of about 4 yards on the play.
It was nice, but I'll tell you what, they still can't handle Pennington and Burr out there. Pennington and Burr and Freeman just refuse to be blocked. I'll tell you, Colerain is tough. There's Steve Rasso over there on the sideline.
Second down and a long 6. Let's call it 7 from up here as Kettler calls out the signals. Riley comes in motion. Hand off to Doxey. Doxey finds nothing as he's wrapped up underneath. And there's David Thomas making the big hit on the outside. Underneath was Heaven Street as he made the big hit.
Man, I'll tell you, they ran everybody but the water boy in Heaven Street, and he just stood the whole side up. He was at least double teamed there. He stood the whole sideline up and said, "You're not coming my way, pals."
Gain of about 1. We'll look at 3rd down and 6. Nick Riley spreads out to the left.
Looks like this might be the first.
Adam Cafaro spreads out to the right, and St. X has to call timeout as there was a little bit of confusion on that play. Cafaro, Dan, was not marked here on the near sideline. There's 24 seconds remaining in the third quarter. The Colerain Cardinals 3, the St. Xavier Bombers 0, as you see it on the Nippert Stadium sign here. Colerain stopping St. X, who had 1st and goal at the 2-yard line, and then going 72 yards for the 3-point field goal. And Dan, the way these defenses are playing, that 3 points may hold up.
It may hold up. Gee whiz, what a great ball game, huh? X comes back with a little fire in its belly and says, finally, hey, we're going to beat you a little bit, a little smash mouth. We're going right at you. We're going to knock you off the line of scrimmage. Colerain, they push him up to about the 45-yard line. Colerain says, we're not going any further, X. So here we are at a key juncture. They got to get 6 yards for the first down. This will be the second crucial passing situation.
3rd and about 6 yards to go. Riley's inside. Cox is on the outside. A favorite passing situation for the Bombers. Hayes comes in motion to get the block. Kettler on the roll is going to run. Andy Kettler up to about the 48-yard line. Penalty flag on the play, and I believe that the St. Xavier Bombers, number 41, Barrett Doxey, is going to get called for a clip, and that's going to take away the first down as the Bombers self-destruct.
There's a definite clip for St. X on that play. I think it might have been 32, but
that would be James Cox. It was thrown in the area of Doxey or Cox. In any event, this is going to take away the St. Xavier first down, and this is big. Let's watch the replay here, Dan.
Oh, unfortunate.
Watch Kettler
mistake.
on the rollout here. A great call by the offensive coordinator because he can tuck it up and run, and there you see the clip right there on the back part of the picture. And so St. X is all the way back to the 31-yard line. I thought the clip occurred farther upfield, but it's 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Third down, and the Bombers have a long 16, a definite passing situation here. St. X keeps two men into the backfield. Time runs out in the third quarter with the score, the Colerain Cardinals 3 and the St. Xavier Bombers 0.
Wow.
Dan, perhaps a little bit of self-destruction there on the part of the Bombers, helping the Cardinals here. They self-destructed on the 2-yard line with the penalty. They had the first down here, and they got it called again.
It's just incredible. The X, well-coached, well-disciplined team coming in here to make so many mistakes. But I'll tell you what, Dave, on the other side of it, good teams make mistakes. You know, they're so fired up wanting to go down the field there. We don't want to pick on any individual, but you're so fired up, and it's you know, good teams make you make mistakes. They put a lot of pressure on you, and you get going, you want to do well. But I'll tell you what, 3rd and 16, St. X has made a good drive out of this. They've showed some confidence. I'll tell you what, they can't give the ball back too much more to the Cardinals, because the Cardinals, once you give it to them, they don't want to give it up.
Not the way these Colerain Cardinals just grind it out offensively against you, as they have really dominated play here in the ball game in terms of time of possession. In the first half, they had the ball 18 minutes and 52 seconds. And Dan, they had the ball for about the first 9 minutes of the third quarter there. So third down 16.
Keep your eyes on 26.
Watch number 24, Nick Riley.
Watch 26 for Colerain. He'll come crashing. He'll be the man to put pressure on the passer.
Fake handoff inside. Riley's open to the outside, but it's floated up. Taylor's going to get the interception again. Kevin Taylor, number 23. Dan, Andy Kettler just has not learned that you have to float the ball over the top of the receiver and not throw it short. Riley had Taylor beat, but he threw it short. Taylor came up with the interception again.
Pretty tough on a sophomore quarterback. This ball kind of looked like a helicopter ball going out there. I don't know if it was a bad release or what just happened, but he was thrown to a spot there, and Taylor's the man of the hour, Dave. You sure can't float him up on this defense.
No, number 23, Kevin Taylor, with his second interception. In a sense, that was just like the punt. Great field position for the Cardinals. Let's see if they can go 50 yards to get a score in here. Murphy calling out the signals, power I backfield. Handoff inside to Nettles, and Nettles, Sal Jaleen, and number 69, John Richardson combining for the stop.
Well, I'll tell you what, I don't know. I'm going to have to watch Sal Jaleen. I don't know how he can get in there every time and get a lick on the ball carrier. But again, we were talking about maybe the difference in this ball game is the intensity of the backs from Colerain. Jaleen got in, hit Nettles in the background. He still made a gain out of it. I'll tell you what a marvelous dedication to the run.
3-yard gain by Nettles. Murphy with the handoff here to Banks, who came out of his end position, and Banks, Calvin Banks, let's see where they put that ball down, is going to gain about 3, maybe 4 yards on the run. Jaleen coming over to again make the stop, and we're going to have third down and about 2, perhaps 3 at the most to go.
Another key, Dave, has been usually a football game will even up in mistakes. Just somehow they just seem to even up. Colerain simply hasn't made the mistakes. They've executed better, and you know, I think that's another key in this ball game so far.
Murphy calling out the signals. St. X defense shifts over. Murphy with the pitch to Alexander. He's going to try to cut it back against Marshall, and Murphy picks up about a yard And so now, does Colerain play for field, or do they play for the first down? As this is a pickup of about a yard, it's going to leave him a yard and a half short, 4th and about 1.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ronnie Alexander met Marshall head up that time, and he moved Marshall. We've been saying all year that, boy, I tell you, Marshall's quite a man in there. But Ronnie Alexander just had the desire, and I thought he was going to bull past Marshall and get that first down. Excellent play by Marshall, though. He stopped him cold.
Nick Riley back deep for the Bombers as Casey Scherzer comes in to take the kick. Snap back to Scherzer, not much of a rush on. High kick. Riley fading back and is forced to take the fair catch as 4 Cardinals come around him. He was going to go nowhere, Dan, so he did the smart thing.
Amen.
Take the fair catch.
He also caught the ball, okay? It's a pressure situation. That ball's up in the lights. Temperatures dropped a lot here tonight, Dave. That ball kind of comes down at you kind of like a wiffle ball. It's kind of swaying side to side. You know the goal line's behind you and there's 4 people yelling at you. All right, Riley, he pulls the ball in. Nice catch.
9 minutes and 32 seconds remaining in this game. If the score holds up, the Cardinals will move on to the state semifinals, and their fans are on their feet watching. The St. Xavier offense trying to grind something out. They've not been able to do it so far tonight. Hayes sneaks in a little bit of a hole there before he's hit by Freeman underneath. Hayes pickup of about 4 yards, 2nd down, and a long 6 for St. X.
X is also taking a little bit long getting the plays in here, Dave, which kind of makes you kind of nervous that they're not going to get it off in time, and another costly penalty down here would just be a killer.
Riley to the far side. He's not guarded by Taylor this time. Let's see if they try to go to him. Kettler with the fake roll. Kettler with the throw inside, and number 49, David Thomas, knocked down. That's his 2nd knockdown of the night. Kettler didn't check off there, Dan. He just looked right into the receiver, and Riley not able to pick it up there.
You got to be sympathetic because you got a sophomore coming in playing. That's a finesse play, and you're right. You can't be looking people off and every other thing. But now we got ourselves in a 3rd and 7. If X has a magic genie here, this is the time to pull it out of the bottle.
So Andy Kettler has James Cox split out far wide to the right and Nick Riley to the left. Handoff inside to Doxey on 3rd and 6. A surprising call as Doxey picks up 3 yards. It's 3 in and 3 out. And the St. Xavier Bombers are now having to watch the clock as there's 8 minutes and 39 seconds before the Colerain Cardinals make the trip to the semifinals in Columbus. And Dan, we know in years past that if you get out of the Cincinnati region, you have a very good shot at being at the final game in Massillon.
I'm sure he's going to punt, but Colerain might be vulnerable to a fake punt, but they're not certainly going to even try that.
Big kick by Banker is going to head towards the sidelines. It's going to bounce. And so Tim Banker gets off a big punt for the Bombers there. Sal Jaleen touches it down about the 40-yard line, and this St. Xavier defense, which has been on the field a long time, is going to be asked to try to come up with a fumble here. And the Colerain offense, which has dominated the play, is going to try to move 60 yards and put the game out of reach.
I'd look for Murphy to just control the ball, no big risks. They control the ball, Dave. They've held the ball for 8 minutes at a time here, so things aren't looking very hot for the Bombers right now because Colerain has got the ball on the 40.
The Colerain Cardinal defense has stuffed St. X all night. Handoff to Alexander. Alexander meets the interior of the line. He gets a gain of about 2 yards. St. Xavier, Dan, seems to be playing with more confidence, but right now the Colerain Cardinals working on just running this clock down as they're content to sit on that 3-0 lead.
That was a nice gain there. It appeared to be stopped, but nice gain. I'd say we're going to go wide this time, and again, the pressure is going to be put on the defensive ends from St. X. You see down there, fans are still full of life, and 3-0's the score. 7 minutes and 20 seconds to go.
Murphy checks in underneath center. 2 sprint outs here to the right. Murphy going to take a quarterback draw. Murphy's going to go 40, 50, 20, 10. Touchdown, no penalty flags down, and that could seal the Colerain victory. David Murphy on a quarterback draw goes 60 yards for the Colerain Cardinal touchdown. Dan Murphy ran 52 yards in the first half. Colerain 9, St. Xavier 0. The Cardinals smelling a trip to Columbus.
Boy, I'll tell you what, perfect call, perfect execution, okay? He just reversed pivot out of there, and the outside people blocked down, and Murphy just took the ball and set sail.
That looks like our MVP right there, number 5, David Murphy, as Scherzer going to try to hit the extra point here. Fumble in the backfield, and the stop made on the play by Lamar Marshall. As it is, the Colerain Cardinals 9, the St. Xavier Bombers 0. David Murphy on 2 long runs has set up both Colerain scores. He was injured on the first play of the game, taped up by the trainers, and has come back to just be a thorn in the side of St. X, as you see the Cardinal waving mightily on the Colerain sideline here.
Well, I'll tell you what, that ball, that was just a beautiful execution, beautiful call. I mean, and it was just an outstanding play. There's nothing you can say about it besides Murphy came to win, and I'm telling you, what a great call.
As you called it, Dan, one big play out of this offense could really break the back of the St. Xavier Bombers, and right now, David Murphy has provided 2 big plays. The junior quarterback, for coaches who might be thinking this could be a 1 and out for Colerain, David Murphy comes back, Ronnie Alexander comes back, and so the big 2 in the backfield for the Cardinals returning next year. They're up 9-0.
On this kickoff, X I think they got to gamble a little bit. If they return, again, the swinging gate, pinning the ball against the sideline, they're going to pin it to the sideline over towards us. X has got to return right to break this one.
Here comes the poot. It hits the ground. It bobbles off Riley's foot. Riley still can't pick it up. And St. Xavier pinned on the 20-yard line as the Cardinals almost dove on top of it. Number 44, whose name we've been calling all night, Brett Hebenstreet, making the stop. So no long return, and they're going to have to do it the hard way with 7 minutes and 4 seconds left to go.
Remember, Dave, we got the 2-point conversion here. So a touchdown, 2-point conversion to field goal gets them up there, or a safety.
Kettler going to call out the signals. Favorite passing formation for the Bombers as Riley goes in the slot, and Cox being watched by Taylor. Kettler, having no room to throw, is going to try to runs into his own offensive lineman, and is dropped for a loss of about 1 yard by number 49, David Thomas, who's had a big play all night long. You see him there, the Cardinals number 49, David Thomas, a 5'11", 195 senior.
Burr gets out here. Burr screws this whole play up. Number 26, he recognizes the screen right away, and he's in between. He's in between the screen. He just can't throw it. He could have completed it to Burr, but that was about his only choice.
So Kettler going to call out the signals. Riley again in the slot. Hayes goes in motion. Kettler going to roll. Kettler's got some time to throw. Throws to Riley. He's got some room. And then Nick Riley run out of bounds on about the 32-yard line. So Andy Kettler completes his first pass of the evening to Nick Riley, 1st and 10. Dan, I thought this play's been here all night for the Bombers, just that short sprint out to the outside and work on it. Wayne did this, but 6 minutes left.
Well, again, we were talking about the flat pass, but they're easy to call from up here. That guy there, he's wide open, Riley, in the flat. So Colerain does play off about 6 yards off the line of scrimmage, Dave, so that cushion should be there. But
Taylor going out to guard Riley as it's one-on-one coverage. Kettler calling out the signals. Hayes in the backfield with Doxey. Kettler looking for Riley. Kettler is hit as he drops it up, and it's intercepted by number 22. So Andy Kettler on the night is not having an easy experience of it here as he was hit as he released it. And number 22, Richard Bryant, comes up with the 3rd interception of the night for the Colerain Cardinals. 2 fumbles and 3 interceptions have spelled doom for St. X. This Colerain defense, Dan, has just been absolutely superb. We're going to see the replay here. Kettler's going to go back, and right as he releases here, he's hit, and the quail kind of floats up in the air, and number 22 Bryant making the interception for the Cardinals. Dan, we have a Cardinal injured on the play, and that's why there's timeout on the field.
Yeah, we couldn't see what happened to him. He was one of the two that hit Kettler, and looked like he just got the wind knocked out of him. Dave, he's up, coming on back.
That was Brian Burr. It's going to be hard to decide who the defensive player of the game is, if it's Brian Burr or if it's Kevin Taylor or if it's David Thomas. The offensive player of the game is obviously number 5, David Murphy, at this point in time.
I don't want to forget Brett Havenstreet in that defensive player, Dave. He's been spectacular.
So Murphy's got 2 split outs. Power I formation behind him. Handoff to Alexander. He's bowling forward. Marshall and Hoffman trying to make the stop, but Alexander rushes ahead to about the 40-yard line. That should pick it up, and the Colerain Cardinals are really fired up as they're sensing a trip to Columbus and then perhaps on to Massillon.
Kind of looked like the ant moving the mountain that time, didn't it? There was everybody in the field out there, but Alexander was underneath. He kept churning away. I'll tell you, this kid runs hard.
The St. Xavier defense has been on the field most of the evening. They have to be tired. They've got to be looking to strip the ball now too, Dan, so don't be surprised if they break one out here.
Yep, absolutely.
David Murphy calling out signals. They're 40 yards away from pay dirt as they're on the St. Xavier 40. St. X, this is again Alexander trying to come straight forward. He'll pick up about 3 yards on the play. 2nd down and 7. The clock keeps moving with 5 minutes to go. If you're Coach Don DiGiacomo for the St. Xavier Bombers, the defensive coordinator, Dan, what are you telling your men right now?
You got to tell them to strip the ball just the way you said. You called it exactly right, Dave. When you strip the ball, you're against a hard runner like Alexander or Nettles. They could just run away from you. So St. X with 4 minutes and 35 seconds to go. It's between a rock and a hard place. 2nd down and 7.
2nd down and about 7 yards to go. We've got 2 men split out. Calvin Banks is split wide away from us. Murphy with that quarterback draw again, and Murphy this time not able to go anywhere on the play. He rambled 60 yards last time, but Sal Jaleen takes him down there, and then Sal Jaleen with the show of sportsmanship helps him up. 3rd down, correction. 3rd down, yes, and about 6 yards to go.
Right. We're down. We might be in 4 down territory, Dave. With 3 minutes to go, 3 minutes and 50 seconds. So they got 2 downs to get 6 yards here, perhaps.
Murphy going to call out the signals. Nettles is right behind him. Let's look to see if number 24, Alexander, comes in motion. He does. Murphy coming down the line. Pitch out to Alexander. Alexander run into by number 47, Mike Wenstrup, and number 28, Lamar Marshall, who put the hit on. It's going to be very close to the 1st down.
Boy, I'll tell you what. Alexander runs with some authority, though. I'm telling you. Watch him. He comes out here, boy, he gets nailed. Look at him. He's still driving, takes a 2nd blow. I think he picks up the 1st down, Dave.
He's just short, Dan. And the officials are going to call timeout to get a measurement here. It looked like where they originally marked it, it was a 1st down, but now it's just inside that, just outside that 30-yard line. So the Cardinal fans, sensing a 1st down here, begin to cheer. They'd like to take this 1st down with 3 minutes and 38 seconds remaining on the clock. They're on the St. Xavier 30.
If you notice the Colerain, well, we're going to see the 1st down measurement. Just short.
Just short.
You're right. They kind of crept back there a little bit on that spot. The water boy and water girl out there in the Colerain huddle, I think, are the coach's children out there. Okay, they got more enthusiasm. I tell you, it's wonderful.
So the Cardinals will go for it on 4th and 1. They may want to go right behind number 76, their left guard. St. Xavier punching it all inside. Power I formation. Coming out now is Banks as Murphy calls out the signals, hands it to Nettles. Nettles fumbles! Picked up by Banker. Banker's going to go! And they're going to call this one down. Let's see if we get this on a replay. As Nettles was taken down and fumbled the football as it came free. Let's see where they put the mark, as the mark may give them the 1st down, more importantly.
I hope we have a replay of that one.
Let's watch the replay closely here. Well, we're not going to be able to see it, but see, Nettles is still up in the air there. He hasn't hit the ground, and so a quick whistle.
Must have called forward progress, Dave. Boy,
that's enough for a first down. That keeps the Colerain drive alive on the 30-yard line. The Bombers thought they were going the other way with a touchdown as Banker picked it up, but a very quick whistle there.
Crucial call. The difference between 9-7 or 9-8 and first down for Colerain.
As it is, the Cardinals, with 3 minutes left to go in the game, are looking for their first trip upstate. They hand it to Ronnie Alexander. Sal Jaleen, whose name we've called out a lot on the bottom of the package. And Dan, I think right now the Cardinals could run it out if St. X does not start to call their timeouts.
Yep, got to use those timeouts to, but that's coach's decision. They're going to call it, do what they got to do here. It's 2:47 to go, and they can run off 30 seconds at a time here nearly. So they're taking their time coming up to the line, and boy, I'll tell you what, that offensive line has done a marvelous job.
A great job tonight for the Colerain Cardinals, turned in by both offense and defensive. They've shut out St. X. Murphy here with the sprint out. Murphy trying to break another one, and Lamar Marshall with the arm tackle stops David Murphy from going 28 yards for another score. As it is, Murphy picks up the first down to the 16-yard line.
As Dave called before, watch Marshall try to strip the ball here. Oh, he just grabs onto that ball, tries to strip it away. But Murphy not only shows speed and courage, but he showed some toughness and some strength, Dave. Marshall's, quite a load out there.
Dan, I thought that this was going to be a low-scoring game, but I didn't think it was going to be this low-scoring. And the Colerain Cardinal fans are now standing and cheering as they know they've got this one in the bag. Handoff here to Nettles, who brugs forward. Gussick with the stop, and then there's the whistle that ends play. 1 minute, 48 seconds and counting as the Colerain Cardinals, Dan, are going to head upstate, and they will play the Columbus region winner. And as we've said, oftentimes the Cincinnati team in recent years have had really good luck against Columbus.
Right, I'll tell you what, these Colerain kids are well tested. They've been tested with adversity. I tell you what, look at that stands. Everybody's so enthusiastic there. Great community effort from everything everyone's told us. All the kids, spirits high, team spirits high, the coaches' spirits high. Kerry Combs has been quite the leader of this orchestrating this whole thing, Dave. And without their leader spread guard, I tell you, it's been a tough uphill battle for them. And I think Kettler was put in a tough position. 1 week he's a running back, a substitute running back. The next week he's running the whole show. So it isn't written anywhere that's got to be fair. But I'll tell you what, Colerain has simply just done a heck of a job.
They've done it all year long with the offensive effort, and their defense has not gotten the credit that it's deserved, but tonight they've certainly come a long way. I wish we could follow them upstate, Dan, on the Waycross Community Network, but we're going to have to just listen in to see how the Cardinals do after tonight's game. Murphy will call out the signals with 1 minute and 42 seconds left to go. We love you, Cards, say their fans, and they will be adopted by the city of Cincinnati as they head upstate. And I'm sure the St. Xavier Bombers will get behind them too. This is Nettles with the drive ahead, taken down by the interior of the St. Xavier line. Nettles gets it inside the 10-yard line down to about the 7. We're going to look at third down and about 2 yards to go with the clock running here.
Well, I'll tell you what, that Jefferson Carey, 76, 300 pounds and 6'6", and he is playing harder now, if that's possible, than he was playing earlier, Dave. He blew off the line that time, and they just follow right behind him and read this block either way, and it's going to be tough to stop him here.
Third down, about 3 yards to go. They're on the 8-yard line. This is Alexander in motion, handoff inside to Nettles. He's got the first down and then a little bit more before he's driven backwards. And so Nettles drives ahead. Lamar Marshall, Mike Gussick on the stop, but not till he got to the 5-yard line. and that'll be a Colerain first down. We're inside 1 minute to go, and the Colerain fans and the Colerain band can barely contain their glee as they're ready to count it down. Murphy and the Cardinal offense trying to punch one more in here.
They could run it all the time down, Dave. This is good. It's gentlemanly, and it's good football too. They're not going to hurry up offense and try to jam one in there. They just want to hold on to the ball, play good control. Here's Murphy under center, gets the snap.
Murphy with the handoff to number 41, Joe Martini, and Martini gains about 2 yards down to the 3-yard line. 22 seconds left to go, and they may just let the clock run out here if St. X doesn't take a timeout. Dan, that's going to be the game. Head coach Kerry Combs has directed the Colerain Cardinals to a 12-0 season. 2 more victories, and they would be state champions of Ohio as they defeat a tough St. Xavier Bomber crowd. You see the coach right there dancing on the sidelines and heading out as the Cardinals try to surround him at the 50-yard line. Combs and Steve Rasso on the 50 shaking hands, and now the players will line up to exchange greetings. As you've seen, a great ball game here. The Colerain Cardinal defense stopping the St. Xavier offense. The St. Xavier defense doing a good job, Dan, but 9 points is enough to win it for the Cardinals.
They just played every facet of the game. They were superior. They won the ball game. Give credit where credit is due. And don't you just love to see that enthusiasm of Coach Kerry Combs? He just personifies that whole community, not just the football team, but I mean everybody just loves the guy, and you see why. He's like he's you know. I was down on the field talking to a lot of the coaches whom I know from past associations and coaching and so forth around town. They just love the guy too. And I'll tell you, a head coach's job a head football coach is a tough job. You got the parents mad at you. You got the athletic director doing this. You got everybody in the community demanding that you go undefeated and you play their kid every minute, you know. And it's a tough job, and a lot of times the head coach really isn't very popular, okay? But we're got to get out of here, and we see the credits running by. Great season for St. X. Great season for Colerain as their season goes on. Dave, a few last words.
Good luck to the Cardinals as they head upstate, and they will be playing next Saturday, and then hopefully they'll be playing on December 3rd for the state championship. For Dan Gibbons, this is Dave Eby, and for all the other volunteers, this has been a Waycross Community Television Sports Production, 1994.
This has been a production of Waycross Community Television, the access partnership of Forest Park, Green Hills, and Springfield Township with Warner Cable. Opinions are those of the program participants and do not necessarily represent the community governments or the cable company. If you have questions regarding this program, or if you would like to participate in the activities of Waycross Community TV, you may call 825-2429. Or write Waycross Community Television, 2086 Waycross Road, Forest Park, Ohio, 45240.